Mr. Bradshaw at addsometoyourincome.com here to share with you more of my favorite giving quotes. When I give my giving speech, I end it by saying, what kind of a speech would this be about giving without giving you something? And today I'd like to give you a set of quotes that are my favorite quotes. And I have a paper that I hand out that have my favorite giving quotes, which are Nicole Kidman said, "I believe that as much as you take, you have to give back. It's important not to focus on yourself too much." Diane von Furstenberg said, "Generosity is the best investment." Kung Fu Panda 3, "When you take, you never have enough. Remember that the happiest people are not those getting more, but those giving more," is what H. Jackson Brown Jr. said. "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give," by Winston Churchill. "Money is like muck, not good unless it be spread," said Francis Bacon. "It is not how much we do, but how much love we put in the doing. It is not how much we give, but how much love we put in the giving," from Mother Teresa. And James Faust said, "A poor man can be selfish and a rich man generous, but a person obsessed only with getting will have a hard time." Let's dive into these other quotes that I have, more of my favorite quotes tucked away. We are not focused in on labor income or passive income. This is a focus on gift income. And the giving quotes often are saying, give. They then will reveal that you add to your income when you give. Let's get into it. I do a pretty good job of citing the sources of these. I just come across these quotes. Books I'm reading, I get an often, it's like almost daily email as an educator, and it has quotes in them. Just going through life and the different conferences, I will at the very end share a story of meeting someone who said this quote directly to me, which was kind of a cool moment. He's a little bit popular in the education world especially, but in the world too. There's a movie that he is in that's based on him. So I'll get to that. Anyway, here we go. So you will climb the ladder of success when you are giving from your heart. Came from Lindy Eldridge. Yeah. Climbing that ladder, it really means you're giving from here. You give from here. Then, when you give, you will receive. And I've met Elena Rodrig, and she said that live and appreciate it. It's very true. When you give, you will receive. Notice that. See if you see it. "Do unto those downstream as you would have those upstream do unto you." I really like that thought. Oh, it just takes me to, this picture's a great one for it. You know, you're at this spot on the stream, give to those downstream, and it causes the flow to happen that you then receive. "If you give of yourself, you receive the blessings of a life full of purpose and joy," said Sam Worthington. And then I got his next quote as well, which is that there's a balance in all things. If you give, you will receive. If you give a lot, you will be rich. "Wealth or rank possessing, ye who now will bless the poor, shall yourselves find blessings," are the lyrics of Good King Wenceslas. And I couldn't resist putting a king as the picture here with a lion who is the king of the jungle. What a great little gem I found inside of a song. "Wealth or rank possessing, ye who now will bless the poor, shall yourselves find blessings." I have found this to be true. You bless the poor, the people downstream from you, and then the flow happens to you. It's just awesome. "The secret to living is giving," said Tony Robbins. "No one has ever become poor by giving," said Anne Frank. And that was in her book about her life, which is a great read if you've got some time. Generosity makes you stronger because, like all the best things in life, the more you give, the more you have. I like these wordings, especially this next one really helps. It is more difficult to give money away intellectually than to earn it in the first place. So you working hard to earn, to earn, to earn. Andrew Carnegie had lots of money to his name by the time he was done. And it takes more effort. It's more than investing. Like, take some money, invest it in the stock market, take some money, buy some real estate. It takes more to intellectually give your money. Give it in a way that matters to you deeply, and makes the difference in the world that you specifically want. Those who are getting into philanthropy with lots amount of money, they need guides just to help them to make sure that they are going to make the difference, not just giving someone a fish, but establishing what will help that person become a fisherman. I'll move forward from that thought to another one here. All right, it's not that successful people are givers, it is that givers are successful people. I have misquoted this many times. Patty Thor, I'm going to work on getting it. So I'm going to just say it a time or two here, make sure I have this phrase. It's not that successful people are givers. It is that givers are successful people. I always just want to put a just in there. It's not just that successful people are givers. It is that givers are successful people. And that then starts to make it my own quote, which I've misquoted this so many times. This idea that successful people are givers. They just are. You, when you give, will receive more, and receive in success, and you will receive more money because you're giving. All right, I do this because I like giving. When I make more, I have more to give. When I give more, I make more. I'm ready to give myself to the world. So Manny Scott came and spoke to our school district. That was a packed house. He got on stage. He looked exhausted. He spoke to that first. He said, I'm exhausted. I got 3 hours of sleep. The flight was delayed, and then my luggage finally came in 3 hours after going to sleep, and they called at 5:30 this morning. So I haven't had the best of days. And then he went and gave just the greatest performance as any of the videos that you could see on it. Now, Manny Scott is the one who has a video made about him. He is one of the freedom writers. Manny Scott's teacher changed his life. Let me make myself a little bigger here so you can see me a little better. Manny Scott came and spoke and completely touched him. Just amazing story. The story of him living in poverty as an African American with a 6th grade teacher that told him, you stink. She took him out in the hall. You stink, and your dad's in jail, and you're not going to go anywhere but be in jail. And left him there, you know. And he had that moment, that like critical moment in his life where he could have just given up on education, and he had to change it and turn it around. And he changed it. He turned it around. When he spoke to us, he was very close to having his PhD. I think by now, if I look it up, you'll probably find that he has his PhD. He has written multiple books. He's a very well-known speaker. He's also a pilot. He likes to fly himself everywhere. He was telling us he wished he'd flown himself because then he would have had his luggage. At any rate, when I saw Manny Scott and what he did, I watched him on the stage and I was very moved. I was very touched. I think everyone in the room at certain points was touched because he's such a touching speaker. And I decided I'm going to talk to him afterward. And so I noticed afterward there was a long line. There were a lot of people. I noticed, there was a person there helping sell books that he was saying this could be the person come talk to the middle schoolers. And I noticed there was a long line of people with his books and coming up and saying things to him, and he'd hand out hugs, and very personable person. I decided not to wait in that line. I decided to sit and wait kind of in the lobby area. There was a spot to sit. And I just watched him, and I observed what was happening. As his line got smaller and smaller, he eventually noticed I was right there watching him. And it was interesting to watch because, a couple people later, he looks again, and sure enough, I'm still sitting right there watching him. Then it's after every person. He's kind of every hug. He's kind of looking over the shoulder, and sure enough, I am still sitting there. He gets done with the line. They pick up their stuff, and they're heading out because I'm sitting in the direction where they're heading out. And he just kind of like, all right, who are you? And I asked him a couple of tough questions. And he gave decent answers to these tough questions. But in response to one of my questions, he said this quote. He said, I do this because I like giving. When I make more, I have more to give. And when I give more, I make more. I'm ready to give myself to the world. Now, each of us are not a Manny Scott. I left this one kind of blank. No quotes here. But you probably have quotes within you to say. And you could probably get up on a stage with a moving story to touch everybody and have a line of people buying your book that have bought your books, that want your signature and want to get to know you. Give yourself to the world, and you will receive more, and then have more to give. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side.